What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I'm just here to give you my initial thoughts slash kind of mini review of the newly released and exclusive demo for Final Fantasy 15, which came with the Day 1 edition of Final Fantasy Type 0, which I will in fact be reviewing. And I have to say, just as an overall feeling after having played this for 2 days and having probably a combined amount of time of about 15 hours to play this in a whole, I have to say I'm actually quite impressed with what we have here, despite the fact that this has been in development for so long. I actually have listed a number of pros and cons that I had with this demo, so just to run through them in an entire list. The pros that I had with this demo in particular is the story for this particular episode is that your car's broken down and you and your party are deciding to go out and hunt down this monster named Deadeye Behemoth, and then you're going to take his horn and then sell it for some money and then get your car fixed. So that's the initial plot of this particular demo, and I have done that a couple of times. So I thought that it was I liked that we were getting a small taste of what may end up happening in the overall story when the game actually comes out. Another thing I also really liked is I absolutely loved the look of the landscape. I've heard that this game's supposed to take place in the same universe as Final Fantasy 13, and I really hope that's not the case, because I want this game to be as far away from that crappy trilogy of Final Fantasy games as possible. Although I have heard that there are some references to the other games, because I have noticed that this game does use the term l'Cie a couple times, but it's a completely different thing, so I'm guessing that maybe a couple of terms from the 13 game will be referenced here, but I hope it's its own different thing. Another thing I also really like is the combat system. Now, the combat system for this game feels a lot like Kingdom Hearts. Which is not surprising, because this game was developed by the team that works on Kingdom Hearts, and so it's not like other Final Fantasy, how you run into an encounter and then it locks off the screen. Everything's in real time. I think even, yeah, it's all in real time, and you pretty much control every single one of your actions. So, you know, you can jump whenever you want in combat, you can attack, you can do special attacks, you can use all kinds of maneuvers, you can heal your party when they go down. You can practically do everything in real time. I really like how they're focusing on a much more open world and real time combat system than what we've been used to over the course of the Final Fantasy games. Another thing I also really did think was a bit of a change, but a welcome change for me, is the leveling up system. The leveling up system for this game works a lot differently than it has in the previous installments. As in the past, after every battle you would gain experience, but this time around what happens is that there's a night and day system that's in this version, and what happens is during the day, or during whatever period of time you choose to just fight battle after battle after battle, whenever you choose to stop and take a break or rest or camp, what ends up happening is the game will take all the experience points that you have accumulated in your combat session and just give it one massive sum. And you also have particular meals that you eat when you do go camping, and from what I've heard or noticed is that each one of these meals has certain perks that it will give you to the next day of your level grinding session. So it kind of encourages you probably over the course of the game that there will be multiple different recipes or meals that you can choose to eat for that night to prepare you for the next day of combat. And I think that's a very interesting welcome change. Another thing I also thought was a big change is the weapon system. Now, for your particular character, who goes by the name of Noctis, but everyone in the game calls him Nox, is you have 5 different weapons, and as you attack opponents, they kind of like to transform. So your main weapon will be like a sword, and then when you use a different attack, you might your weapon will turn into a spear, and then when you use a finishing move, it might turn into like a different spear. So I like how, and you can actually change up these combination of weapons however you like. So it gives you a lot of options of how you want your combo attacks to work on your opponents. And lastly, I absolutely love the design of the summoning that you get in this game. He kind of reminds me of a couple of previous summonings that we've had in the previous installments. However, dear God, he is insanely powerful, and he is massive. And I like how when this guy attacks, it actually shows like the landscape completely destroyed. So when his attack is like done, you'll like see like maybe the immediate area just scorched on fire, and then it'll fade away. So I like how they're going to show landscape damage from your summoning's attacks. I absolutely am going to love what they're going to show us, because if this is just one of those summonings, then I can't wait to see what the other ones are going to look like and how much damage they're going to do to the landscape. Now, it's not to say this demo is perfect, and if they do keep some of these cons or problems that I did have with this demo, then this certainly will stop Final Fantasy 15 from being my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. A couple of things I really do not like from this demo is I do not like the parrying system at all. The problem with the parrying system is that it's not simple, and it's done... It's a timed parrying system, but the problem with this type of combat is that because at many times you'll find yourself fighting multiple enemies at one time, it'll make it very, very hard and difficult to know when was the proper time to parry. As opposed to something like in the Batman Arkham Asylum series, as when you're about to get hit, you'll see an indicator telling you to press the counter button or the triangle button if you're playing it on PlayStation, and he'll immediately counterattack. But this one, because it's timed, you're never quite sure what opponent is about to hit you. It'll show you, like, on the side of your character where the attack is coming from, but if there's a mass of enemies that are kind of charging towards you, it kind of makes it almost impossible to know which one of them is going to hit you. And time after time after time, I've been hit, I've been killed because I couldn't parry, and I really just wish this system was a lot simpler to work with. The other thing I really, really don't like is that if you do eventually get the summoning after beating the initial story, your party will not heal you. This is ridiculous, because this has led to me dying more times than I care to count, because many times, whenever my party members go down, I'll run over to them and heal them, but whenever I'm attacked and I'm about to go down, they won't heal me because I'm the one who has the summoning, and the only way you can even use your summoning is when you're injured. So I think this is a little bit ridiculous. I really wish it was a much more traditional system, as where there's an option where during combat you can actually select the summoning and then call it forth. I don't like how I have to be injured in order to use that. And the last thing, and the biggest problem for me, is the traveling system. I like that it's open world and it's such a massive map to travel around to explore, because I know there's a lot of creatures that you can attack whenever you want, but I just don't like how if I want to get to the other side of the map, I literally have to walk all the way to the other side. Now, there are chocobos in this area, but you can't ride them because they say that the area is not safe, and so I figured that I had to kill the Deadeye Behemoth, and that's just not the case. So I just hope that they find better ways to travel, because I know you have a car that you will use, and I'm sure there's other forms of transportation, but just for this particular demo, I just don't like how I'm not allowed to have a fast track or be able to ride the chocobos. I just don't like the transportation. I just don't like walking for 10 minutes straight just to get to the other side of the map to go on a little side mission. I just don't like that at all. But overall, I did absolutely enjoy this demo. This is just a small taste of what I hope Final Fantasy, the final game, will be when it's finally released, and I am just a little bit cautious. I'm happy I got to play this when it came out, but I just have a couple little concerns that might hold this game back from being truly great for me. Now, if you guys have had a chance to play the demo, give me your initial thoughts in the comments down below. Tell me, what is the best thing that you liked about this demo, or if there were some problems, what problems that I may not have had with the game that you may have had with the game. Share your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you like this video, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to keep track of me in my future videos and update videos. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.